aku.
All right. So feels a bit weird to speak English now, I guess. Yeah. So welcome back to our channel. It's been, I don't know, like 4 months. No, actually 7 months
Oh my
since
God.
since we last uploaded Omakase episode 3. So yay, welcome
It
to
has been that
Omakase.
long.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's been
welcome to
7 months.
Omakase. So today we have special topics. What topics that we want to address tonight, Viola or Shannon, probably, and the reason why we use English in this session.
Maybe not really we currently don't really have a specific topic in mind yet, but we are trying to um take a new approach and try to speak English in this episode. The reason why we're speaking English today is we realize the importance of speaking English fluently because throughout the 7 months of us not uploading video, we were so busy with work and or with scholarship application or with other English fluency tests, and we realized that we need to improve our English. So that's the reason.
Yay.
Yeah, also part of this maybe is just to encourage all the viewers to actually learn English, I guess. Because even though I've learned English like since forever, not really forever, but for quite a long time, and not to brag, I got quite a good score in IELTS, but feels like I don't really use a proper English every day, and yeah, and I think it just give another layer of advantage if you can speak like proper English, in say convey your ideas, convincing people that that you are doing the right thing, or you have the right train of thoughts. And yeah, I think although a lot of people out there can speak English, but not everyone can speak English clearly or uh, precise with precisions to the left such that they can convey what they want to say, um, yeah, in a correct way, I guess.
Well, it's quite challenging also for us, probably, since like personally for me, I haven't used English so much. Probably it might be different for Fernando and also Viola since their daily language is English, but since I'm in Indonesia, so it's like I rarely use English. So it's quite challenging for me also tonight to use English in this podcast.
Yeah,
And I
so
want to know also, like how much I can deliver English in probably like in talking or discussion or something.
yeah, so maybe why don't we just start with like uh how we learn English in the first at the very start, because I'm sure that it's not the first language for all of us. For in fact, even Bahasa Indonesia is not my first language. For I guess for me and Viola is Hokkien, so it's a dialect of Chinese that is widely spoken in Medan, or the city where we came from. And yeah, so I think for us it's a secondary or third language, I guess. So maybe Alpha, you want to start?
No, sorry, I'll just jump in very quickly and give a disclaimer for everyone. Like, we know and we are very aware that our English level is not perfect. So please, please do not judge us. But I think one
Yeah.
of the best way to improve your language skills, especially in terms of communication skills, is to be confident. So
Probably there might
yeah.
be like broken English in the middle of discussion. It's okay.
Yeah, and like Japanese English, Singlish here
Yeah.
and there. So
Or probably
bear with us.
if we don't know the words, then we might be asking our friends here, like probably, bahasa Inggrisnya ini apa ya gitu. Yeah, it's just like
Okay,
that.
Shannon. Shannon should start. Let's go. Cannot hear you.
I think you have to put
It's
your
very
microphone
muffled.
closer. Yeah.
I think you should put your microphone nearer to your mouth.
No.
No.
Yeah, we cannot hear it.
No earphone lah.
Yeah.
Now it's
Yeah,
better.
it's better.
Better yeah. But disclaimer, my environment is a bit noisy, even though it's late at night. So hopefully I can still hear you.
Actually, cannot really hear
Okay.
background noise.
Mhm.
Your
later.
voice is still pretty clear.
Okay, maybe I will start with my story because I have like I can say it's a bit funny in my English learning moment. So I started learning English when I was still in the school, maybe in elementary school. I don't remember if there's an English subject in TK in kindergarten or not. So
There is actually.
there is.
Yeah,
I don't remember who.
there is.
But yeah, I learned in school. But usually in school, there's only like maybe 2 hours or 1 hour per week for the English lesson, and I'm not that kind of student that's very brilliant in English when I was still in school. And it's like I'm not that good, but I'm not that bad. I can understand and maybe I can write, but I'm not confident to speak. And I never join any student exchange because usually the one that join the student exchange are the one that's very good in their English. So I'm not that kind of students. And the funny moment is I thought I can practice my English during my ISMA when I was
Mhm.
in Australia because I thought that oh I will meet a lot of foreigner and I can practice my English. But the reality, I surrounded I surround myself with Indonesian and I kept talking in Indonesian, and some of my friends are better than me, so it kind of discouraged me to speak because I don't want to look like I don't want to look like I cannot. So
Mm.
Mhm.
even though I study for 4 months in Australia, it doesn't really increase my English speaking skills. And what makes me better for English speaking skill, I think it is when I volunteer in Bukit Lawang. So
Oh,
Mhm.
interesting. You learn English in Medan
Yeah, in Indonesia,
yeah,
even
and
in
not in
Medan, you can.
Australia.
no, not
Yeah.
in Australia because when I was a volunteer there, the team was consist of international like staff and also local staff,
Mhm.
and I don't have any choices. If I want to communicate with them, I have to talk in English. So I try to encourage myself, and for months living and volunteering in Bukit Lawang, I feel that my English is getting better. And now I work in also an international NGO, and I still need to talk in English to several people, but for the local like partner or local yeah things like that, still Indonesian, so mix. But
Mhm.
so my key point is that you don't need to like live abroad. Like Alfu said, maybe Viola and Fernando, because they live abroad, they can speak English better. No, because I live abroad for 4 months and it doesn't give me any effect when you still like don't try, and yeah when you're still shy you won't
Mhm.
improve. So okay, that's my story.
That's very encouraging to hear that actually you don't have to, kind of like go abroad and
Mhm.
to actually learn the language, because if you're already abroad but then you don't immerse yourself by talking to locals or then actively practicing your speaking skills, then
Mhm.
it's the same lah.
It's all nothing, no use.
Mm,
Mhm.
right.
Yep.
Okay.
I think
And
yeah,
mhm.
I kind of agree with that also because the truth is I think since we all grown up in Indonesia, and we don't we definitely don't study in international school, so we we don't have the proper command of English, like Nikki or whatever. So I
Right.
think one big difference between people that actually learn in or rather study in national schools as compared to international school is that I think the language that we use in our thought process, because I'm pretty sure that a lot of us, although we speak in English, all the talking points are really made up by Bahasa Indonesia. Let's say I want to speak or I want to talk about topic A. I'm pretty sure that we prepare everything at the back of our mind in Bahasa, and what we do is simply translate whatever we want to say in English when we verbalize it. I think it's a very huge disconnect between what we think and what we speak, and a lot of times it makes my my speech jittery. I spur out words that I'm not supposed to say, or words that I don't meant myself, and I think it's a problem that I still struggle out until now. Yeah.
I think I don't know. I don't really experience that, but I do agree that we all translate all our thoughts in like our mother tongue, right? So for me, it's Hokkien, as mentioned before. So I think especially if I'm doing mathematics, I'm thinking in Hokkien. But because like when I okay, so maybe I'll just share about like how I learned English at the first place. So when I was still very young, probably like kindergarten age, I was forced by my parents to go to English class. Yeah, and then I consistently went for English courses up until primary six. Then one day my parents just decided like, hey, I don't feel that you you display any progress in your English speaking skills. Like, come on, you're literally in English tuition since like you were in kindergarten all the way to primary six, and then when we travel abroad, and then I ask you to speak to like the waiter or something, you are still so shy. So you are not going to English tuition anymore. So my parents just like forced me to stop going to English tuition. But however, I feel that after I stopped, then there's one period where I was so obsessed reading novels, and the novels that I want to read are not available in Bahasa Indonesia. So I went up and I tried to read English books. At first, it was like quite difficult because I have to like Google up like, oh, what does this word mean? What does that word mean? I mean, I still do that until now. Then I also watch more English movies, and then at that time social media was quite ups, as a secondary school student, like you like at that time Facebook was quite a big thing, and then Twitter especially. You feel like a cool kid when you have a Twitter account, but everyone's posting in English in Twitter, especially like this influencers and everything. And I feel that my English speaking fluency increased tremendously at that time, because having like a secret Twitter account, and I just post everything, post all my thoughts in English, blah blah blah, and that actually kind of helped, because like no one knows my Twitter account, and I can just post whatever I want, probably like a lot of like broken grammar and whatever, but yeah. So I never really take any English course again until I have to prepare for my IELTS test. So I took like a 1 or 2 months express IELTS course, and then yeah, just practice speaking, especially speaking and writing there. And then yeah, I mean I moved to Singapore, and then uni was all conducted in English, so I have no choice but to speak English every day. But in Singapore, English, the spoken language, although it's English, it's very,
Kind of different.
yeah, it's kind of different.
And a different weather
It's
compared
like
to probably like Canada
so
or
English.
other English country.
Yeah. So Singlish is literally all the sentence structure is translated directly from Chinese. So it's so easy for me because like I think in Hokkien, right? So it's like just like one-time translation. Instead of like having to translate from Hokkien to Bahasa to English, I can just translate from Hokkien to English. Because that's what is spoken in Singapore. So for instance, like usually the proper English is like, where do you wanna go? But then in Singapore, you can just say, go where? Ah?"
Where are you? Yeah.
Yeah, because in Chinese, it's actually 去哪里呀? 去 means go, then 哪里 means where. Jadi go where? Ah?" Yeah. So when I did my student exchange in Canada, I was struggling quite a bit because
Mm-hmm.
I realized like how broken my sentence structure are, and I have to like think longer before I spew out any sentence.
I mean, like,
To the locals.
probably you kind of find it hard because you get used to using like Singlish as your daily language, right? And then you move to
Yeah.
Canada. It's kind of different, like for me, since you know, in Indonesia, I tried to use English in a correct way, and then I just move out to Canada, then we might experience different thing, or yeah, different, the exact moment we went to Canada, it's kind of different background. So the problem that I faced back then, when I studied abroad in Canada, was how I can communicate or discuss something, like it's kind of different. It's kind of different when we want to talk with our friends. Probably we don't have to put, like words or sentences that it must be coherently with one to each other. And then
As long as you
when
get
you
your
want,
point
yeah,
across,
yeah,
it's fine.
yeah. And then you want to talk like some topics with your professor, then you have to like kind of make it up first. Like even I take notes, like I have bullet points on what thing that I want to discuss with my professor before I start talking with my professor. So that's actually like probably if I remember that funny story, it might be very, very, humbling moment that I just realized that I wasn't that good in communicating something using English. But yeah, right now I think the most important thing to properly use English, not only probably speaking, but also writing, is the exposure. I mean, like, let's say if you are very excellent in theoretical, like English or something, it it can be useless, or you might find it hard to apply the correct English if you don't try to speak using English or probably write using English. So I think exposure is the biggest key point on how you can properly communicate using English, I think.
Yeah, I think easiest way to implement is to just change your phone's language to English or something, or your laptop language, because although you are more comfortable in reading Bahasa, I think it's a small challenge that's relatively easy to take, and it will compound like daily when you start looking for, and I don't know, maybe the settings in your phone, and you realize everything is in English, and so you have no choice other than learn those new words by itself. Yeah,
Yeah, true.
but
That's what I did back then in high school, probably.
but I do agree with you, like speaking with friends and maybe to professors, or to colleagues, or to other people in a formal setting is very different, and I think I realized it especially after I started working. My company is relatively fast paced, so everything moves really quickly. Everyone's very really busy. If you want to convey something, or ask for a decision or something, that you need to be precise and accurate at the same time, and although it's not simple, but I'm still learning up to today, and I'm by all means I'm still bad at it, because I think the hard way it's very difficult to actually structure your thoughts into a very simple and understandable manner so that other people can quickly grasp what you mean, like like in a accurate enough manner so that you don't there's no missing link between what you actually want to say and what they actually grasp from your sentences, I feel. Yeah. So yeah, I think being structured in your conversations is very important, but it's very hard to learn unless you use it, like I guess, every day, or apply it in your essays or in your readings. And yeah.
So, question, what do you think like the hardest part of English? So usually in English test, right? Or I mean like in English part, or yeah, in language we have four kind of parts, right? Listening, reading, and then writing, and the last thing is speaking. What do you think the hardest part that you might encounter back then, or maybe right now, from those four parts?
Maybe I start first, then others can follow. I think for me personally, it has always been writing and speaking, I guess. I think since I was quite exposed to English since I was young, reading wasn't really a major
Big
problem all
problem.
this time. Yeah, but it's not a major problem all these times. Listening, I think, depends on what kind of I guess
Accent.
accent that they have. I have
And
some
the fancy words they
I have
produce.
some opinions, but I will reserve it to myself. But yeah, I guess in general, if it's too fast, then maybe it's a bit hard for me to catch. But in general, I can still watch a movie, like an English movie, without subtitle. The subtitle will be good, but I can still do without subtitle, so still okay with listening. But I think writing and speaking itself has a very similar essence that I've mentioned before. In order to speak well, in order to write well, you need to be structurally sound in whatever you want to convey. Like you need to be pretty sure, you need to be clear on the ideas that you want to say, and you need to be precise on picking the right words to convey whatever you want to say. And it's still, according to me, it's very hard art to master, because let's say we have a tendency to say things that whatever is inside of our mind, right? Like but in reality, I think not all of those words, or not all of the information are actually needed for the other party to understand what we are saying. Although we might thought that all this additional information is useful, these additional words might add more colors to our presentation, our to our sentence, but actually it might not be the case, I guess. So that part I struggle a lot. In fact, I think when I took my IELTS, it was two topics that I fared the worst, I guess. And yeah, what do you guys think?
What
I
about
think
Shannon? Or okay, Viola?
it's
No,
okay, Shannon
go
can go
on.
first.
I don't have anything to say. I agree, because writing and speaking is like the, what do you say, like the productive, because you have to create, like speak and write. But listening and reading is a passive English, so it's not that challenging.
I think I do agree with Shannon and
Viola?
Fernando also. But if I really have to pick one between like either speaking or writing,
Speaking or writing.
and which one I think is more difficult, I would say it's like a chicken and egg situation, or it's also like it really depends because sometimes when you
Mhm.
speak, you can use body language or you can just use alternative to that words, for instance, like synonyms or anything to get your point across. And if you're speaking just to so that the other party understand what you're saying and there's no other risk, I guess in that case, then speaking is easier. But also at the same time, in writing, if you actually have time to think through and like to edit through everything, then you can produce a more coherent set of sentences or like paragraphs in writing. So it really depends on situation. So for presentation, because usually like there are stakeholders and then there are risks involved, like
Mhm.
so I prefer to write out my script first, then try like internalize it. Not really memorize it, but at least like internalize it. So when I
Like you have the point, right?
yeah, so when I present it, I know that this sentence to this sentence is not repetitive and at least it
Mhm.
makes a coherent sense. But in yeah, so yeah, but I think like in general in daily life, speaking, if especially in Singlish, right? Everyone doesn't really speak a proper using a proper sentence structure. So it
Mhm.
doesn't really take a lot of brain juice.
Okay. Well, for me, actually, if I have to pick one, given like, the same period, probably like short period of time, probably you have 12 hours on
Mm.
how to speak your idea or rather than write your idea. I will pick probably writing. Like, I mean, like, writing would be the hardest part for me. I don't know
Mm.
why, but I think if I if I were given, like just an hour to create mm, two like 2 pages of essay, or rather you have 1 hour of interview, then probably I will choose 1 hour of interview rather than just structuring your essay 2 pages in just 1 hour. That probably be the hardest part if I, like if I were given that case. Since I don't know why, but in writing, since I assume that we all here have the basic English, right? It will be very obvious if you write some shit. Like, you know what I mean? You it probably people don't realize when you just mumbling or you talk some shit, but in writing, people can really read it and internalize it, and then yeah, in just an hour, then you'll probably write some shits though. So
But we
I ha
have Chat GPT now.
look,
oh yeah,
I
yeah.
actually have an opinion on that. I feels like right.
Mm.
I feel right. One contributing point on why we can't really write properly is actually we are all in geography Olympiad. I'm not to blame that geography Olympiad is bad, but it's a lot of
Yeah, yeah.
essays, right? And
Mm-hmm.
to be fair, we are asked to put additional sheets to just make sure that we hit the minimum number of points. Let's say, for example, a question
Right.
asks like for 3 points,
Mm-hmm.
then I don't know, I only know 2 points, but for some reasons I need to pull out the third sheets out from nowhere, right? It makes
Mm-hmm.
and another example, I need to fill all the gaps here and there, here and there. And since I've been in Geography Olympiad for so long, that 3 years of my life, that is somewhat internalized. It has been internalized to myself, and now I struggle to write in a precise manner. Like
Really?
now, no, now I don't need like 3 sentences. If I can condense everything to one sentence, then that's even better, right? But then
Mm-hmm.
back in those days, like you need to fill everything out, and
You
if
need
it's
to
not
keep
filled
the
out, then
keyword.
yeah,
Yeah.
then it's not good, right?
We
So
tend to write longer than it's supposed to be.
yeah.
We're
So I
just
put a little
guessing.
blame a little blame to them, but I don't know what y'all feel.
Actually,
Uh,
now that you pointed out, I realized that when I first started my job, the first few months, I really tried to throw in as much information into my presentation
mhm.
slides. Just because my fear is that if you don't get my point in sentence one, you can get it at sentence two. If you don't get it in the first and second sentence, at least there's sentence three. So it becomes like very
Mhm, mhm.
repetitive. But I realized like that's not very effective eventually in communicating your thoughts succinctly. So
Yeah.
hey, now I know who to blame.
Yeah, and I learned the hard way, like if you're a reader of your slides or your presentation don't get what you mean by only reading the title of the slides, then you technically have failed them. So
Hmm.
Mhm.
yeah, that's a really shift of mindset. So I guess for all the viewers of this video, more is not always better.
Mm.
Mhm.
Right.
Guys, I have a story relating to writing script for presentation in English.
Go for it.
So when I was in Australia, there's like a final project of presentation and in English. And at the time, my friend and I made the script like word per word. And
Mm,
in Indonesia, we are used to like we have to present, we have to explain, not just reading, right?
mm,
So I was wondering at that time if this is the right thing to do. Will we get an E or will we not pass the subject because we make the script and we plan to read it.
mm,
Mhm.
And the presentation day and we present by reading and we bring the script I think in our phone or somewhere I forgot. But surprisingly, the lecturer even compliment us. He said that, oh, your English is good, even though you're you don't come from an English speaking country, but your English is good. And we get a good grade in that subject. So I was a bit surprised, like he's so kind, and I think we should also be kind to ourselves because everybody started somewhere. Maybe now you are still preparing the script
mm,
and reading the script, but
Mhm.
someday
Mhm.
maybe you can like present without having a note or
Scream.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that lecturer really taught me to be kind to myself and appreciate what you can do now. So surprising, no? Like
So it means that the key point of learning English is courage. Don't be
mhm.
shy. Don't
yeah.
cry. No.
Uh,
So we encourage you guys to just speak confidently using English or just write whatever you want to write. Write your daily diary, probably if you have one using English, and then chat with your friends. Well, I think having buddy system, like probably if you have some community in studying English probably will benefits you guys the most since um we push right we are pushed to learn English to actively use English probably in chat or in some video call or something like we do right now. So I think yeah, that's good point of starting learning or applying what you get, what you have gotten in English.
I think like also in addition to practicing English and then like try speaking English and then like maybe jotting down your notes in English or
Mhm.
posting I don't know Instagram caption or other social media captions is that another important thing is to make sure that you want to improve. So in a sense, like instead of just speaking it and then like no one corrects you, or you are very defensive of yourself, then it's not gonna work too. But I think like nowadays we have a lot of like technologies, for instance like ChatGPT. When you're trying to like write something, I don't really encourage you to like just ask ChatGPT like, hey, produce me an essay or something. Try to write it on your own first, but then if it's allowed by your university or by your workplace, then you can ask ChatGPT to like polish it for you. But also at the same time, after you know the after ChatGPT or other technologies churn out the answer for you, don't just take it directly. See how they change the sentence structure, or how they use other vocabularies that you might not known before. So I think by learning actively and constantly
And smartly.
introspecting yourself, then the progress will be much faster.
True, true. I think ChatGPT can help you to coherently, structure your essay though. And yeah, that helps me a lot when I, write paper to be submitted in some journal. That helps me to, reproduce the sentences and then make it coherent. So you guys should check it, and then you guys should use it properly.
Meow.
Is this closing
Wow.
already?
Sorry, what?
No,
Sorry,
mean,
what?
like-
I don't catch what you're saying.
Are we trying to do the closing, or it's like it feels like a closing?
Oh. No, it's because you shared advice.
yeah. I mean, like, let's find some topics, guys.
Okay. How's life, guys?
Open juga ya guys, biar ntar jadi episode selanjutnya aja kalau mau lanjutin lagi.
Okay. Tetap dalam English
How
nih.
how long have we been doing this? How long have we been recording?
Ya udah sejam deh. Almost. Ya nggak sih?
Yeah, it's just an hour.
Okay lah. Closing ini apa? One tip from I was thinking that maybe I have two idea, but I need to gather my thought. Wait. Do we want like not an evaluation, but a review, like, okay, after talking with Alfu in English for an hour, I feel like okay, I can understand more, like things like that. So like a review, no?
Or maybe we make
okay.
it like a
One
sorry. Like I was suggesting, like if we wanna like spice it up, we could like challenge each other to like talk about a random topic that another people prompts you
Point
for
to
like
you.
maybe like 30 seconds, and then from there we can give our review.
you give score.
It's like
One up.
okay. It's like IELTS speaking part 2 or part 3.
Yeah.
Interesting, no? Nice challenge.
Okay, 30 seconds. I'll set up a timer.
It's quite challenging. But you will edit it.
No, I'll just like open up a YouTube timer. Oh.
So tell me
Okay.
about blah blah blah. Okay.
Okay, so maybe we'll just assign who gives whom a prompt. So maybe Fernando can give Shannon a prompt. Shannon can give Alfu a prompt. Alfu can give me a prompt, and then I will give Fernando a prompt.
Okay.
Why is it in that order? Is because like it's
cycle.
That's just how in my screen it is.
my
Yeah,
own
yeah, yeah.
food.
Same with me.
So okay.
Mm.
So
Who's first? Viola to
Uh,
Fernando or
no,
Fernando?
me too, Shannon.
Okay.
Okay.
okay, are you
Maybe
ready? You can say a topic, then I'll start the timer.
compare foods between Jakarta and Surabaya.
30 seconds start now.
I haven't tried many food in Jakarta because I usually cook here. So mostly I eat my own cooking or my friends' cooking. But I would say sorry to Jakarta people. I don't think you have any like specific or famous food because many people from Indonesia come to this city, and so like the culture is already mixed up. Sorry. But compared to Surabaya, I love Surabaya food because the petis that is made there, the shrimp paste, is what makes the food good, like tahu telur and like rujak and things like that. So Surabaya for the win.
Nice. It's just nice. It's
Okay.
a little bit over 30 seconds, but it's still on time. That's kind of comprehensive answer, no?
Yeah.
Please give me a rating from 1 to 9 like an IELTS examiner.
1 to 9.
One
Do
to
people
nine.
actually get like score?
7 probably. Or 6.5 or 7.5.
I have no idea how the grading works.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I have no idea.
I don't know either.
But I feel like it's quite comprehensive, and then you link all the ideas like very coherently as well.
Mhm.
Like instead of
I mean,
like
like we
having
get, yeah,
mm,
we get your point.
Okay. Thank you. Now my turn to give the prompt to who?
Alfu.
Helpful.
Alfu.
I'm quite nervous right now.
Do I have any idea? Maybe could you please tell me the update of your finger?
Oh,
3, 2, 1, go.
okay. For the context, probably like 2 months ago, I just, my fingers got cut it by drone. And then it was in the middle of nowhere, I was in the middle of pitlands. If you don't know pitlands, plus search for it. And I was, yeah, my fingers got cut by the propeller of the drone. And right now
Time's up.
it healed. Yeah,
Is
It's
it bad?
okay.
it should be a long story, but
Yeah,
the
it's okay. You
condition
can
right
continue
now,
the story.
yeah. Okay, the condition right now, it heals. Uh, it heals probably. I mean, like I don't have any marks, but I just cut another marks here, like probably an hour ago before we start,
What did
before
you
starting
do?
the recording. I
You
just
like
cut
to
my
cut
fingers
your finger.
again because of this. Okay, you cannot
Nice.
see it. Okay, because of the dragon fruit.
Oh,
I mean, like, I tried to cut dragon fruit and then eventually my fingers was there. Ta-da.
that will
Oh my God.
soon.
Get well soon. You're a walking hazard.
Sorry.
Don't say like that.
I mean like nice the English, not the accident.
He likes to cut his hands.
Oops.
Okay, so that was more than 30 seconds, I guess.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay, my prompt to Viola. If you have to pick, um, do you prefer studying or working?
Okay, I'll start the timer now. If I really have to pick one, I think I'll pick working. Because simply I feel like I'm not very good at managing stress in general. And I feel like studying in NUS was very, very stressful, especially when it comes to like the examination week. I feel in terms of working, I really enjoy the job that I'm doing right now, and I also see the meaning of my work. So, although I have to work, although I have to work within deadlines, or then some days I have to work overtime, I see the meaning of it, and I feel very fulfilled. Also, it makes money, and now that I have a job, I
Good
can
point.
afford things that I didn't really uh yeah that I
You
do
didn't
I
really
didn't
get.
really didn't really want to buy when I was in university, because I was still, on internship pay or using my uh the money sent by my parents. So my answer is working. That was
Okay.
over 30
Good point
seconds.
though. Yeah. Last question, last prompt.
Okay, so no more feedback. Feedback, please.
You guys also
I
didn't
like
have any feedback from me.
I said your story is nice and I
Yeah.
can understand you well. Also for Viola, it's just that a bit confusing for me because I believe in work it's also stressful.
Uh,
Hmm.
I don't
But I
know.
think
My work is not as stressful as uni.
Good
At least
for
for
you.
now.
Good for you.
Good then, yeah. Having money is different,
Yes, money.
feels different.
Money heals it. Okay.
you know,
My
I miss studying though.
No, I don't.
So that's
I
why.
don't. I don't
So
either.
that's why I beep probably
Beep.
for the next episode, right?
Okay.
Right.
Last
Shannon
prompt.
probably, yeah. Okay, let's keep it for the next episode.
Yeah. All right. Last prompt, Fernando. What do you want to say to all your fans? 30 seconds start now.
Uh, Maybe I'll say two things. First, I'll definitely say thank you to all the supports that you guys have given me. Hopefully all the contents, although I know it's not a lot, is helpful to your life and also in a way inspires you guys to do better. And secondly, I think throughout the process also I realized that I'm not a very extroverted person. So definitely being an influencer not is really not on my plan. I couldn't stand like creating contents for hours and hours, but I still do hope that things that I've created, I've uploaded, bring some kind of benefits or bring some impacts, or however small it is. So I think it will be great. I will be really, really grateful if if any of you feel the positive things out of the things that me and my friends have created so far. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah, to all Fernando's fans out there, that's quite a long answer for y'all, so y'all should be happy
Is it
because
under 3 seconds?
probably no, it's like
I think it's more.
it
It's
tries
like
the
near a minute probably.
Viola
no,
Cup,
it's
Viola will
more
get
than 1
cancelled.
minute. Sorry,
Oh,
what?
really?
Viola Cup, Viola will get cancelled.
I know,
Hmm.
yeah, but everyone,
You got
especially
canceled.
Fernando's fans, please cherish it, because after this he will probably like disappear for another like 3-4 months.
Okay lah. Don't need to spam the internet. To be fair, I don't even want to look at social media nowadays. All the news are bad news, so I just zone out. Yeah. So yeah,
It's kind of mess up here
everywhere.
in Indonesia.
Anyway,
Because it's late, maybe we can wrap up with one last tip and then say goodbye to the viewers.
yep. So keep practicing your English.
Viewers.
The word idiomnya apa sih? The word is your oyster.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
word.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I think English opens up your world. Yay.
Yay!
Also,
Okay.
Okay.
Probably I have mentioned it before in the middle of the podcast. Just be courage. I mean, like, just be confident. Um, I mean, like, it doesn't matter how good you are in English right now, but the most important thing is that you want to improve, you want to level up yourself, and then um, we want to encourage you guys to take, I mean, like, if you are good in English, then probably it will help you to, open up to bigger opportunity out there, since, the world is very wide, and you guys might have to explore the rest of the world. And I think English is one of the way to explore the world.
Yay! Shannon, let's go.
last thing from me is like we already discussed this whole session. Immerse yourself with English speaker. Be kind to yourself. Even the English speaker are kind, so it's okay to make mistake. And one last, maybe I don't know if it's relevant or not. I remember when Viola told me to practice my English through prayer, because God won't judge your English skill. So maybe that
God
will
won't judge
help.
your grammar.
Yeah, God won't judge. So pray in English. Okay.
Oh, I forgot I gave out that advice, but yes, I do still pray in English because I believe God is not judgmental. Uh,
What
I
if
think
what if you use, like, incorrect grammar, and then God misjudge? Yeah, I mean, like, he misunderstand what you guys want. Let's say, oh God, please give me this thing, and then, oh God, please give, or probably from the passive into active, or active into passive, and then
no,
it
it's probably
it
like
might result different things.
no, it's probably like God, please give me man. But is it man in singular or is it man in plural?
Yeah. So
Anyways, I believe God reads your heart, and you don't really
Mhm.
have to say anything. Wow, very religious. Anyways, I think advice from me is it kind of similar to everyone's else's, but everyone start somewhere, and no one is good at the very beginning. So just try, and yeah, a progress is still a progress.
First day is always the hardest day.
Yay.
Yay!
How do you guys put some emoji?
React to and with
Which one?
effect.
Oh, okay. I'm a very old person. Sorry. Ah.
All right, that
Right
wraps
here.
up our episode today. I hope
See you
y'all
all in the next
enjoy.
episode.
Bye bye.
See you on Omakase. Next episode of Omakase. Bye.
Omakase. Dadah.
Enjoy.